The fallout from the Ashley Madison hack continues. Law enforcement now getting involved, and a $578 million class action lawsuit has been filed.
What about the rest of us and the information we freely provide online? Is there anything we can do to protect ourselves? Let's bring in Shelly Palmer. He's our tech expert. So we're hearing that Ashley Madison apparently charged extra fees so that things would be wiped away for, information, and they didn't do that, so people are suing. But there's all sorts of things kind of coming out of this.
Two things are true in the 21st century. Anything that can be hacked will be hacked. And the second thing is, it probably already has. So let's forget about protecting ourselves for this first time ever. Let's say it's gonna happen. I'm gonna be hacked. What do I do? Well, this is kind of an important business continuity thing for real businesses, right? If you have a business, you go through business continuity drills. At home, the only disasters we ever usually have are like hurricane drills. It's like, what are we going to do during a hurricane? What are we going to do during a blackout? Well, I'm going to suggest to everybody listening, what are you going to do when your name shows up where it shouldn't show up? What are you going to do when your information is out there, when you've been hacked, when you're either by identity theft, not necessarily Ashley Madison where you've been embarrassed to death, just your stuff is out there. What do you do? Who do you call, and what is your recourse?
A website like this, why would you give your real name?
Ben, you're going to a place I don't generally travel. Ben, why did you give your real name?
I did not.
Never in a million years, not this one.
I don't know.
But it's an element of danger.
And so you wouldn't, in practice, you wouldn't. You should have 4 email addresses, right? Your real email, which is personal, your work email, your burner email, which you use for signing onto websites you don't care about, and then your super secret email, a minimum of 4 websites. If you really wanted a private transaction in practice, you would use a debit gift card or a Visa MasterCard gift card so that it's a one-time transaction. And if you had to have a phone, you'd use a burner phone. You'd go to the convenience store, you would buy a very inexpensive mobile phone for cash, you'd fill it up with cash, and now you don't exist. You're online, but you're a completely fake identity. Most people don't go to that trouble.
So
Shelly,
scandalous.
Most people don't go to that trouble.
Sounds like Breaking Bad.
So what you should do instead is have a plan for when your information shows up online. Do you call the FBI? Do you call the police? Do you call, who are you going to make your calls to, and what are you going to do to protect the fact that you've now been hacked? What do you do now?
I'm calling you.
So that's the question. So other than, maybe having just 1 or 2 credit cards that you've had for a long time and you continuously monitor your statements, you can protest any charges and obviously monitor your bank accounts, what else can you do?
In practice, you can do nothing. That's my whole point. So we know that it's someday in the future, may not be today, may not be tomorrow, someday in the future, someone's going to hack your stuff and put it online. What will you do at that point? And most people don't think about that. They kind of go, oh, look at those poor people. Their names are out from Ashley Madison. Oh, look at this guy. His, Social Security number and credit cards are out there. The credit cards in practice you don't have to worry about. The issuing bank is going to, completely take care of you. You might have a $50 liability, but most people don't, not in a hack. And also when your socials out there, look, socials are out there because you've been giving them out for years and years and years. What I would suggest is, in the future, from today on, learn the following. Ben, you actually are onto something. If you don't need to give your real name, if you don't need to use your real email address, why would you? Websites collect it because it's important to them. But if the website's not important to you, use a burner email so that you just don't have, you can still verify it's you in the burner email account, but when it ends up being published, you're not going to care. So those kinds of precautions make a lot of sense. I've got on my website at shellypalmer.com, I do have a list of things you can do about Ashley Madison and what might happen to you. So I usually don't promote my own blog online, but in this case, if you're worried, you can
You're always allowed to promote your own blog.
Well, you can go to shellypalmer.com and see a list of things you might be able to do to work it out.
Okay.
I'm not worried. Thank you, Shelly.